Hi everyone, it's that time of, well, at the moment it's that time of the month again. We've been a bit off it recently, but welcome back to Wigan Weekly. It's been a while, it's been a hot minute since the last podcast, but we're back. We're going to try and stick to it. It's been a few games now, and yeah, we've been a bit off it. Episode 27, this is, it's still mad to think we're nearly at 30, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think we'd be anywhere near this cool last year, but yeah, pretty impressive. So this week we're not going to really focus on the last games we've missed because been and gone, and I really just want to focus heavily on what is the biggest game of arguably the season at the weekend. It's Bolton Wanderers versus Wigan Athletic at the Tough Sheet. I'm joined by Curtis as always, and we've also got a special guest in Morgan at Lancaster. How you doing, Morgan? Are you good, mate?
I'm doing great.
I'm glad to hear it, mate. Obviously, this is the first time I've really spoke to you about Derby on camera. I mean, in a few short words, what does Bolton Wigan mean? How big of a game is it, do you think?
It's probably the game of the season that you look forward to because you've got two Northwest rivals with so much history between them and so many stories that when they come together, it's like you're seeing a war happening, like a world war.
Yeah, World War. That is a fantastic description. A really good one for any viewers that aren't really familiar with how big this derby is. Obviously, you experienced your first away one last year, Kurt, with me. What would you say, Kurt? How would you describe the Bolton Wigan derby in a few words?
Oh, that is a good question. If I had to describe it in a few words, I mean, like you say, it's definitely one of the bigger games of the season. But I think the word that comes to mind is more like pride, especially when we had the 10 years bragging rights after the win at their place last year. But I mean, it was completely destroyed by what happened in April. But yeah, I think if I had to describe it in one word, definitely like pride.
Yeah, definitely. April was a big one, and like you say, pride. I mean, I think when we've spoken to Wigan fans in and around the stadium, I think like particularly, I'll bring Ryan in, for example. I think speaking to Ryan, he doesn't really have as much hate to any other clubs. Like, doesn't hate Preston as much, doesn't hate Blackburn, doesn't hate Blackpool. He just hates Bolton. Really, he's certainly got a few strong. He said some strongly worded stuff to me about Bolton, which I won't repeat on here, but. Yeah, let's say it was amongst the word six-fingered. we won't.
Yeah, I think you're best leaving it at that.
Yeah, before anyone starts reporting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, we'll touch on last year's derbies. Now, the first one was in December of 2024. It ended Bolton 0. Wigan 2, and I have to say that obviously that was me and Curtis's first away game at Bolton. Was it your first? Did you go last season, Morgan?
No, I've actually been to one away day at Bolton. We drew 1-1, and I remember we actually were sitting in the Bolton stands, which meant we saw Will Griggs score a penalty. This was in the season where we had Reece James on loan.
Yeah, okay. Funny.
So we just couldn't celebrate.
Yeah, you know what? That's. I mean, it's better than nothing, I suppose. But
yeah, it's better than nothing.
If I was you, mate, I would definitely try and go to one of the next away ones. It's such a big game, such a really special game. I mean, for your first derby, Kurt, what would you have rated it out of 10, that away experience?
It was definitely up there, It'd be hard to knock it too many points because, we got a win. We didn't sit down. We were chanting all the time. It was kind of like your dream away day. So I'd have to say about a 9.5, really. It was pretty much all you could ask for. I think the only thing that knocks it down is how long we had to wait it at the end. But the players coming out and all that made it a bit more worthwhile.
Yeah, it did. It was a very good away experience. I think performance-wise, well, it was the final away game before Christmas. It was 2-0, obviously. Goals from Dale Taylor and Asgard. it was a special game. I mean, particularly when Asgard celebrated right in front of the away fans and jumped on the advertising board. That was a very special moment. Particularly for me and Curtis, our first derby. I mean, it was a memorable one, and the atmosphere was very.
And the thing is, we weren't even that many rows back, so it was kind of like it was virtually in front of us.
Well, it was. I mean, it was a very banterful game. It was very good to get that one over on Bolton, but particularly I think the amount of fouls left early. But like you say, that 40-minute period of waiting was a bit of an annoyance. But I mean, I think the players made up for it with a bit of fun. So yeah, we can't really argue with it too much. And then obviously in April, when we went to the brick, it was April Fool's Day, so that 1-0 defeat didn't count, as many people have pointed out. But,
to be fair, Bolton beating us does kind of sound like a joke when you think of how long it's been since they last beat us.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it wasn't really a good game. I mean, it's to be honest, it was the first home game last season. I felt the atmosphere was of somewhat a very good magnitude. I think for the home fans, it was certainly.
I think the fans were just let down because of the performance, because I didn't really see either team getting a goal that day.
Yeah,
and I think Bolton just got lucky in the end. They got really lucky. I knew it would happen one day that Bolton would beat us, but I didn't think it would happen under those circumstances. I would have to be a late winner.
Yeah, I didn't, to be fair. I mean, I think that when I look at that performance, I think the first half was very fiery. We made a good start, but then I just think we sat back a bit too much and let Bolton get us. And then the second half was a bit of a car crash. I mean, the goal that they scored in that 94th minute from Chris Farina was very scrappy. It shouldn't have gone in, really. But yeah, just that moment of. I mean, I was sort of in shock. I didn't expect it to happen, and I think it was a proper gut-wrenching experience, that, particularly when your local rival score well on. It's never a nice experience, particularly because Bolton, again, like you say, they got the bragging rights the first time in what was a long 10 years. But I mean, the weekend now, it's our chance to get some payback, I suppose. I think that.
Basically,
I mean, would you both
our chance to reclaim bragging rights, we'll say.
It really is. I mean, would you both agree that Wigan are in? I think I'd say we're in somewhat decent form. I think we could. I mean,
I would agree with that. I think at home, we're still to lose at home yet. I mean, obviously we've not picked up a win on the road yet, but I think we've got to pick up a win on the road at some point soon, and I think this would be a great chance to do it if we get behind the players.
It will be. I mean, I think from what we saw in last season's away game, it was I think it was a lot of passion on the pitch from the players, and I did respect that. And I think that going into this sort of game, I think it's a very different mindset you have to have compared to some other games. So I think that it's important that Ryan Lowe gets the players mentally ready for this. I mean, Ryan Lowe, obviously, his first derby was in April. It didn't succeed very well. Schumacher, obviously being one of his mates from past jobs and as players. I mean, do you think Ryan Lowe is capable of getting us? I mean, not from a performance side, but just from a sort of from a performance side. But from what we saw last season, do you think he's capable of getting this team the 3 points on Saturday?
It's a tough one, that, because Bolton have definitely improved under Schumacher. You've got a battle of two really good bosses. One that has a lot of experience in League One, which is Ryan. One that has a little bit less experience, but has had a really good coaching career so far in Schumacher. So you really think it's going to really come all down to the tactics, I'd say, because both managers know how important this game is for either side, and all the players really want to give 100% to get the 3 points, because it's going to be a pretty tough game, I'd say. But with Ryan Lowe, you can definitely see there's been some improvements in many areas where we were lacking. But there's also maybe still a few things to improve on. Like, for example, I hate the fact that we always play out from the back, because it gives the attackers a better chance of tackling.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I mean, I think I pointed it out the other day to Curtis. I think that Ryan Lowe, when it comes to sort of what's the word? When it comes to derbies, when he was at Preston, he had good experience. Because obviously you've got like those massive derbies against Burnley and Blackburn and Blackpool. I mean, obviously your family support Preston, and obviously Ryan Lowe was a big part of the club.
No, I actually just have to say my dad absolutely hates Preston, but he's never told me why. He just hates it for some reason.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will say, for some reason, I have a personal hate of Manchester United. I don't know why, but I always feel like I can laugh at their team every time they don't win.
Yeah, Man United.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, well, Bolton will class them as their biggest rivals from it, which is mad, really.
Well, geographically, they're not ridiculously far away. They're actually not far. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's realistic, but they're not nowhere near the same division these days. So it's kind of unrealistic now.
I mean, the only time we can definitely face United is if we draw them in a cup competition.
Yeah, again. Fingers crossed.
Again.
But yeah, I was going to say, because you're asking
what you
earlier
saw
about how capable.
I mean, do you think these are sort of games he's capable of getting?
I think, Lowe, he definitely did a good job whilst he was there. I mean, Preston fans are going to say, no, he wasn't that good. But I think really things just turned sour near the end of his managerial spell there. I think, he is capable. He did enjoy a couple of wins and draws against the likes of Blackburn and that during his time there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Purely from what you did on Derby days, do you think he's got the right mindset when it comes to these massive rivalry games?
Yeah, and I think as well, what you got to bear in mind is since day one, since he walked into Wigan, he's understood how passionate we are as fans to the club, and he knows what it means as well. I mean, I get that some will say he's not quite maybe Sean Maloney level in terms of connection with the fans, but I still think that he's more than capable of delivering something.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I mean, there's one for both of you. I mean, do you? I do. Yeah, I mean, do you both miss? I mean, do you miss that Maloney relationship we had?
Oh, goodness. Talking about Maloney, you definitely have two different sides. You've got the player side and the manager side. You love the player side, but you don't know how to feel about the manager side. Because there were some good moments Maloney had with us. Like when he obviously took us from -8 points at the start of the season to scrapping that after 4 games. That was amazing.
It was, to be fair. That was it was such a quick turnaround.
Definitely.
I did think that Maloney was much better with the fans. I think also on a Derby Day level, I mean, every meeting with Bolton, we managed to get something out of it, and it wasn't wins. So I don't know. I mean, in that respect, I miss Maloney because I think if we had Maloney in April, we may have beaten Bolton. I don't know. I think based on pure vibes, I'd argue we could have done. But I will back Ryan Lowe. But I think for him, this is a lot of pressure because it's against a man that as well. Because these two managers, they both knew each other well, and that is why it was a close game back in April. I think they both knew each other's identities on the pitch quite well. So yeah, I mean, the next big question then on that front is, what are we going with for score predictions then on Saturday?
Do you want me to get the score predictions that we put on the article?
Yeah. In fact, yeah. Well, we've all listed.
So then you can have your recap, right? So I said I'm going to be very ambitious with this one, and it could well come back to bite me, but I'm being brave. I think we're due an away win, and I'm saying 2-0. And the reason why I said this was because despite setbacks, because we're not going to have Sadie or Carragher, I think last weekend at home we still delivered a commanding win over Doncaster, who are high flying in the league this season, higher than Bolton, higher than us, you know what I mean? So I think, we've got the quality. I think the only thing is we definitely need to watch out because it's not going to be easy by any means. You just have to look at Cody Dewberry's goal on Saturday against Orient, and you just got to think we need to be alert if we want to make sure that we get away with a win there.
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
And then you said that it was going to be 2-1 to us. You put the Doncaster performance was one of such exceptional dominance, and with an impressive away backing, the Ticks should be able to come away with the +3 and the bragging rights. I am expecting a Bolton goal just because we just need to be on the lookout for Cozy Dewberry. He's been phenomenal for the Wanderers so far this season. But apart from that, I'm confident it'll be a good day out.
I am, to be fair. I think I completely agree about that. It is a solid prediction from you, mate.
That's your prediction.
Do you read my prediction?
Oh god! I'll read out Morgan's prediction now. But...
go on then.
Right, so Morgan said it's going to be 2-2. You put, with the way we've been performing, I'm expecting an entertaining match for the likes of Murray and Matt Smith outshining from the squad. In terms of Bolton, I have seen improvement from previous seasons because they have an experienced League One manager in Schumacher. Plus, with the recruitments of Burstow and Sharman Lowe, they have a good, talented team.
Yeah, I must say, when I look at teams now, I mainly focus when they make recruitments on the talent they have. I think many people know Mason Burstow mainly because of his girlfriend, because she used to date the YouTuber Morgs.
What? Wait, what? What's her name? Harriet? No, what's her name?
Mason Tamsin.
Tamsin, that's it. Yeah, Tamsin. I did not know that.
Yeah, she keeps posting a lot every time he scores a goal. Sharman Lowe, he's come on loan from Chelsea, right? So you've got a great youth keeper from a great academy. And the performances he's had, they've been a hit and miss, but you can't deny he's got talent. And Bolton have such a talented squad with the mix of youth and, experience as well. With Wigan, injuries have cost us, and we do have Sadie suspended. So there is a off chance there could be some parts of us that could be exposed, we'll say. But like I said, as long as we have an entertaining game, I don't matter what happens as long as we don't lose, of course. If we nick a draw, it has to be an entertaining game. If I'd like to see us nick a draw. Obviously, many Latics fans will be wanting the win, but a draw still ain't bad against a team that many odd checkers have said will get to the playoffs at least.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you on that front, Morgan. I think Bolton have plenty of talent. We spoke about Cozy Dewberry, who I do think is going to be one of the standout players in League One this season. You've also got, what is the Austrian winger called? Gale. That's his name, Gale. He screams excitement for the Bolton fans, not for us, but yeah. So yeah, you're saying what? 2-2, Morgan? Did you say?
Yeah, 2-2.
2-2, yeah. I can get behind that. I think a draw wouldn't be a bad result. I mean, we want the win, but I do think that 2-2 is fair enough. And did you go through yours, Curtis?
Yeah, I read mine out first.
Yeah, mate, you went through yours. Yeah, you went through mine. We've got a couple more. Joe from Tix Media, he gave us ours. He reckons it's going to be Bolton 1, Wigan 2, so agreeing with me. And he commented, I think it's going to be a close game, but Wigan just come out on top for 2-1. I'll go with Murray and Paul Mullen to score, hoping for a great game. UTFT. I think, again, solid prediction. I think the goal scorers seem accurate. Although, I mean, does Paul Mullen have a good record on Derby Day teams? I mean, what was Wrexham's derby? Shrewsbury? Is that their derby? Yeah.
Is that their derby?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it is.
Not really an entertaining derby, I would say.
No, not really. Really not. 2-2, well, one team that are decent, another team not really much to play for, really. But I think, in terms of Fraser Murray, this is a big chance. If he can get a goal on Derby Day, I think it really just shows that next level how
I mean, let's be honest. Murray has definitely been our star signing so far.
Easily, he's been unreal for recently. Fantastic little.
I think we need to keep him on the low a bit, though, or else big clubs might come knocking in January.
Exactly, that's the problem.
I couldn't
When
see
we-
that. I couldn't. He wouldn't stay 6 months at a team. He's like, I don't see a player. I don't think he'd be that. Couldn't see it personally. I think he'd at least stay a year easily.
He'd probably stay the entire season, and if he gets like a good price on him and a club buys him for that price, we might as well take our chances. But hopefully we can get someone to fill in those boots and be just as talented as Murray is.
Yeah, I think it will be difficult, but yeah, fingers crossed he stays in January. Football Noah prediction: Bolton Wanderers 0, Wigan 4, Fraser Murray to score all 4 goals.
I mean, if that happens, I'm gonna do something like a spin the wheel, and I'm gonna do like some kind of exercise thing if he gets that correct.
All I will say is that I think stranger things have now. The 4 goals from Murray, no, but the scoreline itself.
Happen.
I don't know. For Bolton Wanderers, they struggle at the tough shit against us, and it's a proven fact. They never really. I
mean,
think
every game Fogden's been to at that stadium against us, they've lost.
Oh, is he coming on Saturday then?
Hopefully, I'm fingers crossed, because then we'll win.
What I say
Yeah,
is,
well,
though,
we saw where he was sat last time from the away.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, you could see him, and he wasn't very happy, was he? What was I going to say then? I don't know. Oh, I'm annoyed now. Yeah, Bolton have not got a great record away from it, and I actually think that considering that our fan base gets slandered so much, we've sold out the away end, which I think is a fantastic milestone for the club. It's a fantastic achievement. I think we'll bring a lot of noise. We did in December.
And the thing is that now it's all sold out. There's so many so many Wigan fans on these Facebook groups asking for tickets. It's unreal. Can't write it.
I mean, it just goes to show how popular football can be around the world as well.
Yeah. And all I'll say is, this is why, guys. This is why you book your tickets as soon as you can, particularly on Derby Day when it's an away game. Because I think people
literally booked tickets yesterday to go and watch the Wigan women play their first ever game at that new place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. But the thing is as well, right, with booking the Derby Day tickets, is on that ticketing system, you can't pick where you sit. And, you know, it's one of them. It's like a lucky dip, really. Because it's like, if you want to be near the front, you've got to be one of the first.
You bypassed it to get us together, didn't you?
Yeah, well, the thing is, you had to make sure that you click them both at the same time so that you were sat next to each other.
Well, thankfully, we are next to each other because I wouldn't be doing it, because I wouldn't be happy for it to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that, it kind of reminds me, like, you know, when you go to one of them fancy restaurants and there's loads of empty tables, but you don't get to pick one. The waiter just picks one for you. Yeah. And then you're, like, slap bang in the middle, and then everyone is watching you.
Yeah, that is a fantastic analogy. To be fair, we got Mark Goldbridge on the podcast. A great analogy. The next, actually, we did get a Bolton fan prediction from Bolton Wanderers FC Central. He reckons it's going to be 1-1. His comment was, "It'll be a tough game for both sides and a cauldron of noise and an intimidating atmosphere." So quite short and brief. Now, I do agree that I think form goes out the window on Derby Day, really.
And that's the thing as well, you know, Bolton have got, you know, undeniably a more expensive and talented squad, but, you know, we still managed to edge it. So, yeah, form and squad values just go out the window.
At this club, they've underachieved massively in the last 2 to 3 years, let's face it. They've really... Obviously, the problems are I mean, you think that Schumacher was the answer, but I unbelievable. I mean, I said Bolton would be first this season, and I don't think I'm going to stick with it. I think come January, I'll probably be changing that to like. I mean, who's going to?
So what are you going to do? Do another video with my halfway through the season final predictions?
I don't know. I don't think I can do that, but I just still can't believe I put Bolton first. I feel like I deserve probably to do something to forfeit at the end of the season if they don't come first. But we'll get to that.
Right, well, get preparing forfeits, everyone who's listening.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll think of a good one. I've actually got one. Actually, I've just thought. How about if you if Bolton don't win the league, you have to try and get Fogden to notice you, and then challenge him to a boxing match. Like, try and challenge him to a boxing match.
So you know what? See, that's easier said than because Fogden is a bit of an up his own ARSE, and I think that he's just.
I mean, he thinks he's God's gift to football YouTube.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like him, and I would argue that I would argue that he's a bit of an inspiration to me. But when I was younger, I mean, his content's a bit lacking these days, to be honest. He's gone a bit too commercial, really now. But yeah.
I mean, I'm more of a fan of his dad than him. I'm more a fan of his dad because at least he says some good stuff.
All I'll say is I can't remember his name. What is that Burnley fan called?
Oh,
I think I know what you're on about, and I don't know his name either.
Me too.
Yeah. All I'll say is that Fogdad said some weird things to him. It was a bit uncalled for, but yeah, we won't get into that. But I'm hoping we can see Fogden because I mean, as much as I'm not a massive fan of it, I wouldn't mind getting a picture of him. To be fair, he's a bit of a legend in my opinion, just for his pure presence on the internet. With that, artificial intelligence, we did get AI to do our predictions for us. So ChatGPT reckons it'll be 1-1, and its comment was both sides are evenly matched so far this season. I mean, do we agree with that? Do we agree that Wigan and Bolton are evenly matched at the moment?
In terms of table positioning, yes, I would say that is right because, you know, like I said, we're still to get a win on the road, and so are they. But like you say, you know, they're at home, they'll have home advantage. But the thing is, they've won 2, drawn 2 at home so far this season, so they're yet to lose at home. But yeah, in terms of away, drawn 3, lost 1. So I think, you know, similarly matched in terms of table positioning, yes. In terms of squad value, maybe not.
Yeah. I think the squad value is a big factor, to be fair. I think, I agree. Yeah, I think it has got that just about spot on. Wigan have been slightly stronger, but away at Bolton in a derby atmosphere, I can see it cancelling out into a share of the spoils. So that reckons the points will be shared at 1-1. Yeah, I think a draw is not a bad result, really. Our team. Grok off Twitter/X reckons it'll be Bolton 1, Wigan 2. Like to hear it. Wigan Athletic, 8th in the 25-26 league on table, 12 points from 8 matches. And buoyed by a 3-0 win of Doncaster, have the momentum and slight edge in form of a 12th place Bolton Wanderers with 11 points from 8 games, with 3 wins in 5, but frequent draws, which have obviously, been a big problem. Inconsistency is not great. With no major suspensions reported for either side, for Wigan are managing injuries like James Carragher, who's got a thigh issue, out until mid-October, making them likely to narrow victory in this tight Lancashire derby. James Carragher's out till early October. Is that correct?
It's about 4 or 5 weeks' time, so
there's no way.
Near the end of October.
I mean, you think if he had surgery, he'd be out for a while, but fair play. If he's back that early, then that's a fantastic recovery.
Yeah, I mean, I knew one of the women's players, named Ella, she got injured after the first game of the entire team. She was out for the entire season after that because she had to have surgery on, I think it was her right leg.
That's not ideal, isn't it? That's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, it's not ideal. With Carragher, it was obviously the surgery was a big success. It must have been a big success, I would say, to come back in October.
I'm sure he paid for the best surgeon he could have got.
Yeah, I mean he's one of our important players, I would say, Carragher.
Yeah. But I'm sure that his dad's presence in the football industry helped.
Well, I mean, every time Carragher does something worthwhile, and it's on a Tuesday or Wednesday, you can often hear Carragher talking about it on CBS.
Yeah, you can.
So that gets us some good publicity.
Obviously that's what I'm saying. In terms of suspension, so obviously Carragher's out for a bit. Sadie's still suspended. With that, I'm going to share my screen. I want you to both sort of talk me through what you think of my predicted lineup. So let's go for it right now. Hang on a sec. Right. Is it working? Am I sharing my screen?
It's not come up.
No, it's not come up.
Is it working now? Yeah.
Right.
Go on.
Yeah,
What do we think the predicted lineup?
It's not a bad prediction, I would say, especially with the fact that with the suspensions and injuries, that is a strong side. And I like the fact that you put Matt Smith in a CDM, although I would actually swap him with Ollie Cooper in their position because I think Cooper would benefit more as a CDM than Smith because Smith has got the pace as well.
Yeah, to be fair, we saw that against Doncaster. I'll talk you guys from home because obviously you can't see it on the screen. So Sam Tickler in goal, Aimson, Morgan Fox. Now Jason Kerr. Now I don't know. I mean, Davo, you two know what was wrong with Jason Kerr? Why he was absent on Saturday? Does anyone know?
I think he did something in training. I can't remember exactly what it was, but at the time of writing that article, there was no confirmation about whether he'd be back for Saturday or not. It's kind of like we're a bit uncertain at the minute, but I feel like the club might be able to confirm tomorrow when they actually post their own previews. So we'll see about that.
Yeah, well, you see, the thing I saw, I got down early because I did a bit of shopping, I would say, mainly because of the fact I wasn't working as well and I was going to have a drink in Whelan's. I actually did see Jason Kerr along with Fox, Melise, and I want to say, I think it was Jensen. Jensen Weir. And all four of them were going down, I think, to Greg's at least, or Subway. And I didn't really see anything wrong with Jason, I would say. So maybe it was some sort of tactical decision.
Maybe. I mean, I was going to say that maybe he got a bit of an illness, but if he's out with the lads, I don't see that being
exactly. So. If you're ill, you've got to really stay away from as many people as you can.
Okay, well, we'll see about Kerr. I'd like to say he will be there because I think I'd feel more comfortable with him over Sessegnon.
It's a bit of a knee problem that he had, so I think it was just a precaution to keep him out.
Right, well, fingers crossed he's back Saturday because I think he'd be a big loss, to be fair. CDM, Matt Smith, he was fantastic against Doncaster. He is making big moves this season. He looks like he really wants to fight for his place as starting CDM. So fair play to Matt Smith. On the wing, Murray and Humbo. Surely we are we arguing with that? No. And then we've got Callum Wright at Cam. I put Ollie Cooper. I think he's due a first start. I'd like to see him. I think this is the sort of game he could shine. I think he's played in the Swansea Cardiff game before, and that is a massive. That's one of the arguably the biggest derbies in the UK. So I think he has fantastic experience on that front. And then obviously two up front, Casello and Paul Mullen. I think Sadie obviously suspended. That's the best two you could argue at the moment. You could argue that maybe Melisa Samoa might get a chance, but I don't see it. I think those two are the best bet. So we both think that is that team realistic then, do you think?
Yeah, I'd say it's realistic, definitely, apart from the Smith and Cooper switcheroo. But that's definitely the exact team I would go for. I think Melise, he's good, but with Fraser and Joe as the wingers, I think Melise, he has the pace, but he doesn't really put in any good crosses, I would say, unlike Joe and
he's
Fraser.
He's not really a goal scorer, Melise. He lacks confidence, in my opinion.
Do you know what's just occurred to me? We could actually do like a pairing and call Humbo and Murray Joe Fraser.
You know what? That's actually that's unreal. I'll tell you what, Morgan, you're on to a winner there, mate. That's actually really good. That
it's just occurred to me then.
Right, is my screen sharing off now?
Yep.
Yeah. Right, Sam. Right. On top of that, okay. Before we sort of come to the closure, now I know you've not been for almost 9-10 years, Morgan, but obviously you went last season, Kurt. So I want you to both. I'm going to need some categories to rank the tough sheet, and just want you to both tell me what you think. So, obviously this will be more for Curtis, but if you want to input, Morgan, then feel free. Okay, so from what you saw last season, mainly aimed at Curtis, what would you rate the atmosphere, Kurt? Noise levels, fan passion, chants, and the overall vibe?
That is a good question. I think, with being in the away end, you're surrounded by all the noise from the away fans. And I think, Bolton did give a couple of chants, but by the time they were a goal, 2 goals down, the expected happened. They went quiet. They started leaving, which, might knock it down a few points. But I think, you're there with your own club. You're the away support. I think, in terms of atmosphere, it was still decent. You can't let the Bolton fans knock it down too many points. I think overall, atmosphere-wise,
but purely based on the home fans.
On the home fans,
yeah, just home
more like a 6.5 maybe.
Okay, from when you went, Morgan, what would you rate the home fans when you went?
See, I'll be honest, I don't really remember much because it was in 2018. It was in November, I'm guessing. I must say though, from what I've seen all over, when I see like football highlights, they do have a very passionate fan base. But when things aren't going their way, they can definitely turn on that team like a click. So
we saw the whole in saga when he told the fans to F off. That was a bit of a crazy time. That was a bit mad.
I'm surprised he wasn't sacked to that point.
I was, to be fair. I couldn't believe he kicked on.
Okay. If it was someone like Neil Warnock or Nigel Pearson doing that, they would have been gone like that.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly.
Okay,
right.
So what are you rating it then?
I'm gonna rate a 7, I'd say, because they do give some good moments. Those fans, they give a good atmosphere as well. Every home game.
Let's get your rating as well, Charlie.
My rating for the atmosphere, I think, from what we saw, based on the home fans, I'll go for a 6.5. I think the first 10 minutes were quite lively, but then obviously we scored in the just after 15 minutes, so it died down pretty quickly, and Bolton didn't play very well. So yeah, that is getting a 6.5 from me. Up next, we've got view from the stands, so closest to the pitch, obstructions, etc., etc. So what we're given for view from the stands?
I'm gonna go with, I think, an 8.5. I think you sat in that stand, you're behind one of the goals. So when they're playing on that side, when we experienced Telewa's goal, it was perfect because you could see it. It was right in front of you. You got to see the players quite well. But unfortunately, if you're not sat on, back at our place anyway, if you're not sat on the east or west stand, you haven't really got as good of a view, because if you're sat like slap bang in the middle, you can see both goals all right. But I personally think if you're sat on like the north or the south, you can't really see the goal opposite as well, if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
but there was no obstructions, so it was quite good on that respect, because we've been to Chorley's ground, and if you sit down there, there's obstructions. So if you want to compare it to something like that, definitely a good view from the seat from where we were. It might have been better if we were on the upper tier, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
But considering we were on the lower tier, we were quite near to the action. I think I'm going to have to give it an 8.5.
Okay, nice one. You, Morgan, what would you give it out of 10 from when you went?
Well, you see, I remember I was in the upper tier, and I was behind 2 very tall men, we will say, seeing as I'm only 5'3". So you couldn't really see much. The only time I really wanted to stand up was when Will Grigg was taking a penalty. Thankfully, I did end up getting recording on my old phone. Unfortunately, I've lost all the footage. But in terms of the view, I'd probably give it a 6, because from the top tier, you're seeing everything. I would say you see like all of the other stands, you're seeing the entire pitch. It's a really, really good place to be, depending on where your location is.
It is, yeah. Okay. My rate. Okay, well, my rating then, I'd probably say I give it an 8, because there's no obstructions or anything. I think it's a very clear view of the pitch. Obviously, we're right behind the goal, so I don't think you can complain too much. It's a very good ground for that level, for that category. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for that. Up next, guys, it's facilities, toilets, food and drink options. Obviously, I know we didn't try any food and drink, but based on the toilets and the accessibility for obviously people who are disabled and etc., what would you give out of 10?
I think in terms of getting into the stadium, I don't think it was bad. I mean, obviously we're not really ones that need any requirements to get in, but I think they had the appropriate things in place. So I'm not going to mark them down or anything for that. I think, they do what they can. I think in terms of food and drink options, we didn't have anything, but it seemed like they had some all right stuff going on. I mean, I didn't really spend much time hanging around the concourse in that away end because it wasn't massive. And I think the toilets, I don't think they've been updated since the stadium was made. They've definitely seen better days, and there was plenty of old away day stickers in there, which was interesting. But apart from that, not really a pleasant experience in the toilet, but that's not what you go to the match for. I think overall, probably about a 7.
No. Honestly, mate, every game we go to, I photograph the toilets and have a little album for them. Believe me, that's what I'm there for. That's what it's all about.
So if we start seeing toilet reviews on TikTok, I know who to blame.
Was that guy Tenable who said that he's got a very interesting habit of photographing Wetherspoon's carpets? please say you've seen that.
I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen it.
Anyway, what would you say, Morgan, in terms of facilities?
I actually don't think I can really give a vote on this one because I don't think I really used any of the facilities, and if I did, I don't really remember. So I'm just gonna give a null and void one for that one.
Okay, nice one. For me, facilities, I think food and drink pricey. I think from what I remember from a bit of overhearing half-time conversations. Accessibility, I didn't see anyone. I mean, obviously at the break, I know there's those little like hatch thing, well, not hatches, like little, I can't describe it, like little areas where obviously disabled people can easily access. I didn't see that at the Bolton. I'm pretty sure that the very front row there might have been some options in that respect, but I'm not too sure. I think there was though. But yeah, in terms of totals, let down. So I'll go for a 6 out of 10. Not amazing, but if we do try any food and drink on Saturday, that's definitely probably going to get up. Up next, it's a stadium location, so ease of travel, transport links, parking. Going for.
Right, I think on that front, it's Bolton's located within Greater Manchester. They've got B network buses, Horwich Parkway train station that's nearby. That can be good to get there. You've also got a supporters club coaches, and I mean, if you've got your own vehicle or whatever, it's only 7 miles from our stadium anyway. So it's definitely one of the easier places to get to. There's plenty of options. So.
Although, for anyone getting that train, I wish you the very best of luck. It was absolutely rammed from what we saw last time.
That supporters club coach, when we were on it, just went past it, just swarming with police officers. It was mad.
Well, what do you expect from a derby that's been known to have brawls with the fans?
Yeah, particularly with more the Wigan fans that are.
I'm surprised no one has had a fight in any of the supermarkets.
Yet.
Yeah, quick! There's a scrappy in Anster.
Quick! Someone's destroying all the biscuits in Aldi. I don't know who it is. Is it a Wigan? Is it a Bolton fan? I don't know. I think they drew today.
What would you say for location, Morgan? Or can you not comment on that one again?
I must say, with where the area is, the stadium's actually near a shopping place, like a shopping centre as well.
Oh, yeah,
biggest one in the UK.
Yeah,
because I actually
that?
went there to get my football boots once because the sports directs in Wigan, they were out of my size, so we had to travel all the way to Bolton just to get them.
What's it called, Kurt?
It's called Middlebrook Retail Park, and biggest in the country, and it's definitely an asset to have the stadium right near that.
Yeah.
It is. But the stage, I mean, I would say it's too big. There's too many options. I mean, we spent about half an hour trying to decide what to get for food. And we actually didn't, and in the end, we didn't get anything. So I don't know.
Did you actually not get anything? That's hilarious.
Oh
You didn't.
God, so many options and you couldn't decide.
Neither did you.
I know. I just can't. Now I think about it. Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah. I know we didn't. We went to.
Oh yeah,
Mackie
sure.
and-
Yeah, we did the food review after we went to the Mackies when we got back in Wigan.
Yeah, I know. Same old.
Oh man.
Look, I can
That's
just remember you doing the food review now. It's all come flooding back.
Yeah, exactly. Location for me, I'm going to say, I think purely because of the retail park, it gets so big, it does get quite a big boost. So I'm going to say
I'm
7.
saying 9.
I'm gonna say 8.5.
I'm going to say 7.5. I think it's decent. Okay, up next, we've got stadium design / look. So aesthetics, architecture, uniqueness, how impressive it feels. The first thing I will say is that the outside of the stadium is much more impressive than the inside of the stadium. That's what I will say.
It always is with stadiums. They're more impressive on the outside when they're in compared to the inside because, like, have you ever seen Arsenal's stadium? They've got like all of these
Horrible ground.
photo screenshots and stuff of all classic moments. Like I think they've got on the front like one of Thierry Henry.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, it's a really
Yeah.
it's a bit basic. Yeah, a bit basic. It's not great on the outside. I mean, obviously, I knew that you can back me up, Kurt. I mean, their club shop was something else. It was so. I mean, I've said it a lot, but it was just so breathtaking how good their club shop was.
Yeah, it was quite
Is that
neat,
good?
tidy, and futuristic looking.
It was unreal. It was. I'd argue it was probably better than some Premier League shops. I'd argue a lot better.
I mean, it really depends with the budget, I guess.
I mean, Bolton have certainly got. I think the setup's a lot better than it is at Wigan. It's not. I think it puts Wigan to shame a little bit. But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I think with us, we can only come up with so much merchandise, and we have so little room to put it in.
I mean, we need to. I mean, did Bolton sell their kits anywhere else apart from the shop, or all the way like us in that respect? I don't actually know.
I think they're virtually like us.
I mean, if you ever go on holiday, they have these like football shirt stores, and I usually every time I'm on holiday, I go and get at least 1 or 2 football shirts from these stores. And in the past, I've got ones of like Roma. I got a Galatasaray one, and I think a few years ago I got a Barca one with Busquets on the back.
That is pretty cool. That's to be fair. That's nice. That's quite convenient. Yeah, in terms of the architecture, I think it's interesting. I know that I'm pretty sure it is the same company that designed the brick who designed the tough sheet.
I remember we used to have a shop in the Grand Arcade where we'd sell all the merch and stuff. Now that's gone and it's been replaced with that gamer place.
I did not know that. I'm not gonna lie. I did not know that. That's quite
I
cool.
used to go there sometimes with my dad and we'd get some of the new kits.
That's pretty cool.
Well, you did as well when it was still day one. Like you used to be able to buy the stuff in the DW shops as well.
Yeah,
exactly. And then Mike Ashley bought it all.
So out of 10, Kurt, purely based on how impressive the stadium was, what would you give out of 10?
Oh, good question. I think, you say it looks more impressive on the outside than the inside, but that's really to be expected anywhere. And I think, they've got a hotel in there. They've got all sorts, I think it's got to be up there.
Yeah, okay. Morgan, what would you say?
Probably a 7, I'd say. I've seen the outside of the stadium. It's really good. Inside, like with every club, it's not going to be the best thing.
I'll say a 7.5, I think. I think that's what I mean.
So we're all sticking in the range of 7s and 7.5.
Yeah.
Okay, up next, it's comfort, legroom, seat quality, covered stands, weather protection. I think it had all the above. I think the legroom, obviously, we were standing all game.
Yeah, but even when I sat down in half time for a minute or two, it's like the legroom was much more than what you get at the break.
Honestly, mate, I feel like you could stretch your legs, put that way. You could very easily stretch your legs. It wasn't like you had to bounce them. It's better than the brick in that respect. Most things at tough sheet are better than the brick, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean,
I
definitely
think,
when you have like very bad knees or sore knees and you just want to put your feet up. It really depends on the leg room, and at the brick, it's not really the best with leg room. Like, especially if you go like you're a tall person with long legs, you're going to end up kicking some guy in the back of the head if you put your feet up.
can't say I've done that, but there might be a day.
Yeah, I think I've accidentally kicked someone in the back during a Warriors game.
Curtis had that from about
Great thing to admit.
Yeah. By accident, obviously. I apologise to the bloke. This was when I was probably about 10 or 11, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, you can't really help that.
Exactly.
I think in terms of comfort, I think obviously in terms of weather protection, most stadiums that have been purposely built to with big container, I think obviously they are very rare that you're going to have. So, yeah, it's very rare that you're going to have stadiums that don't have that protection. So I think overall, I'm going to give it.
Yeah, if you're building a stadium over here, you need to be building it to have a bit of shelter from all the rain.
Yeah,
I'll probably give the stadium on that basis 7.5.
Yeah, I'll go for a 7.5 as well. I think comfort's pretty decent there.
Yeah, make that a hat trick.
Capacity out of 10. Do you think it's a decent capacity for League One level? Well, obviously it is.
Yeah.
In terms of how big Bolton are on the team.
Plus, they can actually sell out the stadium for so many games, unlike us.
They've sold what, 24,000 tickets? Which is pretty impressive.
Probably sold out the entire stadium.
Well, that 24,000 does include the ones that they sold to us, the away fund.
So but about 3,000.
We see over 25,000 people, but we barely sometimes even get 10,000.
Yeah, to be fair. Okay, we've got a few more to go. Overall,
I mean, people can slander our attendance and stuff, but at least we got 8,000 loyal fans, and yes, it might be a rugby town, or people might be supportive of Man City, Man United, but you get people like that everywhere.
Yeah, you are. I mean, I think Bolton fans probably are Man United fans in the sky. To be fair. Okay, right. Finally, the final one is value for money. Would you say that it is a ticket value for money?
Oh, I think last year not so much, but this year I think because they've lowered the price a little bit.
I think for adults,
it was 19 quid last year for an under 18. This year it's 50. It's not a massive difference, but about 20% cheaper. Which it can go a long way. You can get like a meal deal for 4 quid.
Well, I really want to
get your dinner or not.
Yeah, I want to argue with it.
Why do we never do that? Why do we never do meal deals?
Well, Wigan didn't charge Bolton quite as much when they came in April, so I think we need to up our game really when Bolton come into town. But overall, I do think it is a good. I mean, I think for adults, we're speaking to Ryan. Ryan said he's not paying that much, but I mean, I think if I wasn't just now, I think I'd just pay them today. I wouldn't really be that bothered. But yeah, I can agree that it's a lot of money, particularly about when it was Christmas game. They charged a lot for a Christmas game, which makes great. So yeah, I think the value for money is getting a 6. I'm gonna say I'll say 5.5 out of 10 is getting pretty bad.
Yeah, I'll probably say the same, 5.5.
I'll go with a 6 just because they've made the prices a bit cheaper this year.
Okay, well, with that, guys, I think we've come to the end here. We've gone on a little bit about the stadium, but overall, the Tough Sheet's impressive setup. And Saturday is going to be hopefully a game to remember. And if not, we're never going to post on this channel ever again now.
Can't just abandon the channel because of the result of one game. You've got to be there through the highs and the lows.
You can take an extended break, but you can't
very funny.
You can't really leave the channel dead like that.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, overall, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. I hope to see some of you on Saturday. I really hope that the gods I hope the gods go our way, and I really hope Wigan get that 3 points. Fingers crossed. And big thank you to both Curtis and Morgan. I hope to see you again soon, guys. And until next time, take care, everyone.